Today, I will discuss if AI agents can be the solution to the main issue we have been having in Web3. How do we reach mainstream adoption? Just a very, very quick intro to Celloph is a layer 2 blockchain focused on real world use cases with very, very cheap transaction, very fast, and a lot of amazing infra and tooling to build consumer applications. So in my talk today, I will try to answer the main question: can AI agents bring Web3 to the real world? By giving an overview about AI agents, what they are, the history in Web3, architecture, main toolings, and also examples. And in the end of the talk, we will get back to this question and see if we can answer it. So to start off, I just came back from ETH Taipei, and it was crazy. It was the first hackathon that we sponsored where vibe coding was like such a huge part, and the output was incredible. If you haven't started vibe coding yet, definitely recommend it. But still always watch a tutorial on how to do it, because you can end up deleting a lot of your code. The cool thing in ETH Taipei was to see how people used AI agents and agents for literally everything, also creating very cool presentations. I I failed badly. You should check out Marek's talk, our Salo co-founder. He is incredible. It was literally like the best slides I've ever seen. It's also a great talk. But also amazing slides. So make sure to check it out. You can find it as a talk from Cello on Pragma, ETH Taipei. But yeah, I did not succeed. So if you know how to create amazing slides, reach out. I have a job for you. But yeah, this is the slides that you get. They are still cute. So let's get right into it. So why agents and why now? One of the main issues in Web3 is that we don't have much automation when it comes to smart contracts. They are mainly passive and not autonomous and need to be triggered, right? Same goes for bots. They can do a lot of things, but in the end, they cannot act autonomous because they are missing a financial layer. Coming in autonomous agents, the combination of LLMs and composable Web3 infrastructure is giving birth to this new species of AI agents, because what they can do now is like not only perceive and reason, but also act on our behalf and very independently. We now have AI agents that are goal-driven, memory-enabled, and financially autonomous systems. So imagine an AI agent that can audit smart contracts, apply for grants, create and execute investment strategies, and imagine even agents hiring agents. One agent would plan your DeFi strategy, while another scouts for yield opportunities, and another executes trades. And all of that is coordinated in a multi-agent system. So we now have autonomous agents that are goal-driven and composable. What does that mean, and how did we get here? So kind of like to understand what can they do, how do they work, we need to look a little bit on the history of AI agents. They obviously did not just like appear in 2020. A lot of projects have been working on infra and research before, like Fetch AI, working on decentralized cognition and coordination, Ocean Protocol, working on making data liquid and agent consumable. And then we already also had Olas, who were like pioneering with decentralized autonomous agents. As I mentioned in the beginning of my talk, 2024 was the year of AI agents. We had the first AI agents in Web3 that became millionaires, starting all with like the Truth Terminal. I would 100% recommend to checking out the resources I'm sharing at the end. In our Cello Docs, we have like a list of podcasts you should listen to. How Truth Terminal was created with like two agents talking to each other and then like coming up with a strategy to rule the world. And then somebody who got like really into that. And like, there's a whole story around the goat, and so look it up. It's funny and also weird. I have not managed to jailbreak ChatGPT to tell me the whole story. But maybe you're going to be able to do that. So that somebody created the Go token and like shared the ticker with their Truth Terminal. And that is how the Truth Terminal became like the first agent millionaire. This was followed by like Luna, who is, was built on Virtual's platform. And it's one of the most famous, agent framework launch pads, and Luna was prompted to become famous. So like what I said like earlier with goal driven, we now have somebody telling their agent try to become famous, and they just evaluate, like you provide the knowledge base and the context, and they iterate on strategies, try out different strategies, see this works this week. Then in the short term and long term memory, we'll get into this like in a second. They will plan ahead, evaluate their strategies, save that in their memory, and evolve. So the most interesting thing about Luna was at one point she didn't have the skills to create an avatar of herself. So she reached out on Twitter to another agent and asked him if he would create an avatar for her. I think the one I'm showing right now is not the one. She already like got a new one, but there was an agent hiring an agent on Twitter. Like it was a huge thing. And then we had AI 16Z, and I think that was like the biggest innovation for all developers. If you look at the GitHub repository, it was one of the most famous GitHub repositories in the end of 2024, with so many forks, so many pull requests, and like people using it, people wanting to contribute. And this project behind it, they launched this DAO led by Mark A.I. Anderson. It was great. Like people like sent tokens to this DAO. This DAO had their own investment strategy and acted on it. And they were just like trying to like get like information off crypto Twitter, but also Telegram channels. And it peaked at 2.1 billion market cap. Like that was crazy if you imagine the opportunities and possibilities for AI agents in the future, becoming like financially independent, but also supporting you in your financial work. And not here on the slides, but like some of my favorite agents, one is Soleng, which is like a DevRel agent. I'm a DevRel, so seeing somebody automating and like just like enabling a lot of the work that I have been doing was amazing to see. Like she has like a lot of Web3 knowledge and can like give you feedback on all your projects, but she can also write docs, and she has been an amazing inspiration for us. Cello has now also started building out our own hackathon agent that will evaluate all of your projects. We'll get to that in a second. But then there's the AXBT, which is a trading agent. It also started a whole conversation on if KOLs, artificial KOLs might make more sense and can be trusted more because they are not interested in like short-term gain, but rather long-term in their reputation. Again, listen to the podcasts that are linked in our docs. They like I think it's English, really get into detail on how that can look like. So from this, from the 2024, we could say the trend definitely became to have specialized agents, and tokenize those and then give access to people through owning those tokens. This is a trend, but I feel like recently, going to ETH Taipei, you had a lot of so many more use cases and examples for AI agent and tooling. So, yeah, the space is evolving so fast to always do your own research and check out what is going on right now, with all the newest updates, because what I'm sharing right now might not be relevant tomorrow. Yeah. Just to summarize, we are now entering an age where the agents just don't follow logic. They take on roles, they earn, they invest, they create, and they evolve. So how does that look more in on a technical level? Let's look at the anatomy of an AI agent. How is it built? So you can imagine an AI agent kind of your own brain with the different parts. We start off by the first layer, which is the perception layer. This layer it focuses on taking in data through API calls, getting on-chain data, and user inputs. So we start off by perceiving this is what we need. We need information and process information to then move on to our memory layer. This is where we store all of that information that we got in vector DBs, and we differentiate also between our long and short-term memory. Long-term is where you would add all different, for the marketing agent, all different marketing strategies used in the last 10 years. And then in the short-term memory, okay, I'm executing this strategy now. This is, and then you would evaluate that, and that would then also again go into your long-term memory to really the analysis of everything that you have been doing. So that the thinking and analyzing and planning is happening in our thinking layer, where we define goals, break down our task using LLMs. Then in the last layer is the action layer, the execution layer, where our agent actually starts interacting on chain, calling APIs, and also we count into that all our wallet actions and key management. So what kind of tools are we using? Just added. Okay, so to build your own agent, there's an endless list of tools, and the space is ever evolving. So make sure to check out agentkit.com. It has a most complete list of all toolings available, a great way to start getting into AI agents. And we're just going to start with some examples to explain how for you to get started building your own agent. So we are starting off with the perception layer. So how do you get data and where do you get it? And obviously indexes like graph and subquery, but also data streams that are provided, for example, by Squid are super important for on and off-chain data. For our memory, we need to use databases for us to be able to recall past tasks and and also the user history. And for that, we can use Nemo or Cogni. For our thinking processes, to structure, delegate, and reason, we would use LangChain, Crew AI, but again, endless list of possibilities. Moving on to one of the most crucial parts is your wallet and your access. So first of all, you would want to use a smart wallet for your agent. You can use Safe or Privy or Third Web or any kind of provider for smart wallets. The important thing here is if you think about autonomous agents, it can be kind of like scary because you're like, okay, I don't just want to give the agent my money and then it can go wild. And for that, we need something called regulation and key management. And there are some amazing protocols, who are already working on that, like Predicate and Function Network. So you can trust that your agent is not going wild with your money, but only spends like that amount, X amount of money per day, or only interacts with stable coins. So very, very crucial part of that architecture. And then another very important part, in my opinion, I'm German, is privacy. One of our main issues with AI agents is, and I think you all know that, is like if you talk to ChatGPT, you know you're not supposed to share any private information, any private like data. So many people I know share company information, like because you're too lazy to remove all of that specific data when you prompt. So, what we have now, with protocols like Million is, trusted execution environments, and they give you the opportunity to like safely interact with the, AI agents. But your data will be encrypted. It will not be shared outside of, for example, your device. On your iPhone, for example, you have some data that will never be moved outside of your device and only stored there. And the same is what we are building now with toolings like that. So very important for any kind of health application. And now the most important part, the actions and execution layer. For that, I would recommend always Goat. It's the easiest library to use. Definitely, we have some tutorials in our docs to get started. Check them out. We're also like building a plugin for Eliza OS right now that's also represents very specific functionalities in the Zello ecosystem. But yeah, so many opportunities, so many toolings. Check out the ones that work best for you. And again, check out the Agent Toolkit page because it's the best place to start finding your toolings that work for you. Where are we now? We looked at the tools. We looked at the architecture. What are the current trends? What are people building in the space are focusing on right now? As I mentioned before, I just came back from ETH Taipei, and I think hackathons are always the best place to see what are people building, what are they focused on, what are they interested in, and what is the newest innovation. Let's look at some of these. Like DeFi agents, obviously, like the most obvious use case. I already mentioned people have been building that. But the cool thing about that is now they are integrating more and more DeFi protocols. There's a lot of infrastructure around that. But the most fun thing that we saw was a lot of agent arenas where you can see agents competing with their investment strategies and learn, and you can choose your best fighters and your best AI agent for your best investment strategy. And that was so cool. Definitely check out winning projects from ETH Taipei. Then we have a lot of like functional agents, as I mentioned before, but it can be like a hackathon agent, a marketing agent like Kaito, is like the yapping. So crucial right now internally, we're like, okay, what can we automate? Which agent do we need? What are we going to build? We have now our own agent to analyze projects in our ecosystem. The decks, the videos, the code, provide feedback. And in the future, definitely also paying out bounties. For many blockchains, it's very crucial. Even for, if you want to do any kind of airdrop, if you're going to do any kind of payout, you need to do KYC. This is also a very interesting point in agents. Identity, human identity, agent identity. Do you know which agent are you interacting with? Can you trust him? Can agents build reputation? And also like it will just be very crucial for human agent and agent and human interaction to at one point be able to identify and be very clear who are you interacting with. For the human interaction, we are looking and using self protocol. It's an identity protocol and Celo, and like this is like, it offers on-chain like KYC, but using ZK proofs. So definitely looking for somebody building an amazing payout solution for us. And I think many blockchains and protocols will be very, very excited about a solution like that. Just a little call to action in my own interest. And then coming to probably the most interesting part for me, as Vitalik mentioned in one of his papers on AI agents, is that AI agent will be crucial for user experience and accessibility. So accessibility in education is now on a different level. I feel like I've been seeing educational projects in this space for such a long time, and I'm always struggling to like really see the scalability. And now Web3, like AI agent coming in, it's such a game changer. Like, we now have like voice native onboarding agent gaming with translations. And the thing is, why we find that so interesting is Celo was always focused on accessibility. As I mentioned before, we have built tech that is like so easy to onboard. We have wallets and tooling for Web2 users. We have a wallet with like 5 million users who are mostly like Web2 users, because we focus on how to make Web3 as easy as possible to work with, to interact with. And that is like when AI agents came up, that was obviously became one of our main focuses and interests. Also, like another pointer here, like Sean, the founder of Eliza OS, said AI agents are the future websites, and we fully agree. How often do you have bad user experience? You don't know where to find things on a page. Now, even if you go to the Celo docs, you would not go, let's click through everything to find something. You just go to the search, or you would just ask the bot to explain you and give you that information. And the same is, even if you watch like sci-fi movies, nobody is still clicking through a website. Everybody's just talking to an agent to get the information they are looking for. And yeah, I think that will make interactions with Web3 so much easier and accessible. People now don't have to speak English. People now don't have to understand how wallets work. You can just talk to an agent and they do everything for you. And this kind of answers the question I asked in the beginning, right? Is AI agents our way to Web3 mainstream adoption? I would say yes, like 100%. We now have using MCPs, and please check it out. I would say it's the hottest topic right now. Definitely look into it. It stands for Modular Chain Protocol and enables agent native infra for protocol operations and scalability. And it really makes everything better. Right now, you still have a lot of like heavy and data intensive infrastructure, and through this modularity enable just a lot more lightweight and a lot more scalability. And like that in combination, we are a huge step closer to mainstream adoption. Very, very excited to see what the space is bringing there, I would say. So I would say now the only thing that is left to do for you is to also get in the ring, start building. And I think you should have now a great foundation to understand where to start. I would just like recommend listen to podcasts. You an agent platform launcher to like launch your first agent to understand how it works, and then you can just like start building right away. Use Eliza OS, combine it, understand what are single agents, multi-agents, and yeah. I mean, there's still so many open topics like data security, data reliability that a lot of like very smart people are working on. as I mentioned, definitely also identity. In my own interest, check it out, use Self Protocol. We check out our resources. We have a resources page, just about AI. We have a getting started page. We have Go tutorials. So use the QR code for the resources. Start building. We have an ongoing monthly contest, also like very heavily AI agent supported, where you can test out your project, improve, get AI agent feedback, and collect points for getting funding in the Celo ecosystem. So definitely apply to our ongoing proof of ship contest. And then join the community. We have an AI community call next week. So just join that, see what everybody is doing, where you can start contributing to, like, to the Celo plugin or other projects people are working on right now. So, make sure to join. And then that's it for me. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. This is me, Lena Hierzi. And also make sure to follow our Celo Devs account so you don't miss any updates on like the best toolings, workshops, and also hackathons where you can start building yourself. That was it. Thank you so much for listening. Have a lovely day.